Well, thank you all so much. My name's Adam Gotch. I run East Coast partnerships for Shopkick, and we are a mobile consumer engagement platform that helps both brands and retailers alike to understand real-time insights at shelf to drive incremental ROI. But couldn't be more excited to be alongside this all-star panel of female leadership and thought leaders in Omnichannel, CPG, and retail. So I'll pass it to you, Margaret.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Margaret Safford. Brief bio, I started my career in brand side, so both for Procter & Gamble and then Colgate-Palmolive. I then switched over to retail, so worked for Staples and CVS Health. And then I've done a bit of a pivot, and I now work for a green biotech startup company where I launch and grow and scale a line of personal care products that are all kind of non-toxic, safe for people, safe for planet.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. Whitney Cooper. So the quick elevator on me. Started my career actually on the agency side, working at Leo Burnett. Quickly realized I wanted to do three things. I wanted to be a part of a startup, I wanted to work for a big brand, and I'm a legacy Walmart kid, so my mom worked for Walmart for 25 years. Yes, I did move back to Bentonville, don't judge. Never thought I would say these words. Agency side, I was a partner in an influencer marketing startup. That went awesome, learned a lot. Went and worked for Kellogg's, one of the world's most awesome brands to work for. Cut my teeth in e-commerce, shopper marketing, sales, etc. And 2.5 years ago, I joined Walmart. So now I'm looking after what we're calling omnichannel transformation and now commercialization. So the 5-second elevator on that is I basically am helping drive new business strategy operating models between merchandising, Walmart Connect, site merch, and marketing inside of the organization. And in the last 6 months now, I've taken over commercialization of our stores. So when you think about shopper marketing, we're creating really new awesome experiences in stores. So I look after that. Excited to be here.
Hi everyone, I'm Sara Resnick. I am the VP of Enterprise SEO and Partnerships at 1-800-Flowers Inc. I've been with the company 11 years. I have been in SEO the whole time, ran social media for the enterprise for about 5 years, have been running partnerships for about 2 or 3 years. So it's part of a gifting brand. For anybody that isn't aware of our amazing family of brands, it has Harry and David, Cheryl's Cookies, 1-800 Baskets, the Popcorn Factory. So just a bunch of gifting brands to help people connect and celebrate. And before this, I was at PBS for 4 years in marketing the whole time. And before that, I was in the music industry for 4 years before that. So anyway, great to be here. Nice to see you all.
Hi, I'm Devashak. I am the Senior Shopper Marketing Manager on the Omnichannel team for not just Stonyfield yogurt, but our parent brand, Lactalis US Yogurt. So you may have heard of our awesome brand, Stonyfield. You may have also heard of our brand, Siggy's Icelandic Style Skier, that's us too, and a smaller brand, Brown Cow. I manage and lead the Shopper Omni-commerce team for Lactalis US Yogurt. Working across our yogurt brands and with partnering closely with our sales and marketing teams. I've been there for about 4 years now. Prior to that was with Henkel Consumer Goods and spent a bunch of time on the agency side calling on clients that run the gamut from chocolate to chicken to financial services and credit cards.
Excellent. Welcome, everybody. We've talked a lot about community today. It seems to be a constant theme throughout the whole day's session. And whether that's through camp and building friendship bracelets or through our friends here at Brand Innovators, helping provide thought leadership within our space here, shared emotional connections are extremely important, both online and in-store right now. So how are you leveraging data, social listening, human intuition to create real engagement and community in digital and or in-store environments?
I can start. At 1-800-Flowers, we obviously want to listen to our customers. I think that's the most important thing, and making sure that you're understanding the feedback, the positive, the negative, and just really listening to what the sentiment is, what are your engagement metrics, how are you thinking about that and communicating it internally, right, to your customer service team, to your different marketing teams, since I do think, social and your blogs and different ways that customers communicate with you is exactly how you get to understand your brand on a different level, since, there's a lot of internal lingo, there's a lot of internal fans, but it's always helpful when you listen to what your customers are saying, so listen for certain keywords. Being that I am also an SEO and did run social for a while, the different listening tools are really cool, and I think just making sure you're connecting it with some of your other marketing channels like Data Studio or Tableau is another cool way that everybody can kind of get a different view of it.
Excellent, thank you. More?
Sure.
Oops.
Okay, no problem. So for us as a startup brand with really no brand awareness and no distribution and any sort of retail footprint, building community was really an important first step to kind of gaining that awareness and getting that trial. So basically, a lot of talk this has happened today about COVID and how people had to shift business priorities. And one kind of white space we identified when COVID hit was the need for a really gentle but effective hand soap as people were washing their hands 8+ times a day. So we spent a lot of time developing a really great product and really honing in on who our target customer would be. And then based on my experience at working at a lot of big retailers, was trying to figure out our optimal go-to-market strategy. And really what kept resonating was, you have to start to grow your online reviews first and foremost. So that was really the first area where we dialed into. And it's funny because people mentioned today about handwritten notes and postcards, and that's actually a strategy that really worked for an unknown brand. So really trying to be authentic and include with every order a real thank you for trying our product, since really up against some really big players in the space, some background on our story, on why we made the product, and then really giving our email saying we'd love to hear from you, and also please, as we're trying to build our business, we'd really love it if you'd consider giving us a review. So then being able to take all of that content and help optimize everything about our product from A to Z with a full feedback loop. But yeah, just really, again, without any brand awareness or distribution other than online, building that community of users was critical to get us off the ground.
So I'm just going to quickly touch from a retail perspective. One of the things that we're hyper-focused on right now is when you think about experiential. So for 2 years, people were like, store, go away, scary. And now when people are back in the stores. That's the thing that I think has been, not the surprise, but everyone said, this is the end of brick. Definitely not the end of brick. But when you look at what we're doing and what we're trying to bring back, we have 4,700 stores across the country. Huge piece of that, if you go into any Walmart store, is community. So one thing that we're doing right now, we're going to be launching going into next year, is working with brands to really localize their messages. So much of this is regional, so much of this is different parts of DMAs across the country. So super excited about that. I know it's kind of a different perspective, but I would just say, as you're any brand marketers in here that work with us, just know that that's something that we're taking, that localized, more personalized kind of hands-on experience is something we're really focused on going into next year.
I guess I can kind of build on that too, in terms of how we build a community with influencers, and I think word of mouth is something we talked about during the prep call. For us, Stonyfield Organic is a trusted brand for mom, and we want to be mom's ally and solve the problem. And I think that there's no better way of doing that than tapping into the authenticity of influencers that best represent our brand and help provide solutions to our shoppers and ultimately our customers like Walmart, to help make that selection. Because within this category, yogurt is very competitive, as a matter of fact, if you didn't know that. And it's a category in which, a lot of people think it's just healthy enough on its own, so why pay the extra premium for organic? We really need to convince, the why. So I think really engaging with influencers, and then even taking it a step further from a shopper perspective and engaging with influencers that have a connection to your customer, like a Walmart, We'll Wait Walmart, or Target does it again, or finding these kind of niche or nuanced influencers that have a specific tie to retail, and then putting some metrics behind it too, because ultimately that's what me and my team are challenged with, is how did this help move sales, right? So it's a balance of engagement and sales, and being able to partner kind of at a little more in-depth level than just like a brand awareness level.
Can we double click into your best experience with influencer and how that impacted your business from a bottom line, from an upper funnel, from a lower funnel? We'd love to learn more about that.
I've got a good one on this.
Excellent.
Who would have thought, man, that influencer was going to come way back around? So I actually have this is my story from at Kellogg's when I was leading the frozen business across the country. We had the best success than even being on the agency side, and this is what I would say about this from personal experience and selling it. It is not a one and done, and I think that's the mistake that people often make with influencer, is that they expect to do this influencer campaign and see this amazing ROI that just keeps on going and all this incrementality. And I'll say the always on approach to influencer, with like the constant kind of stream of communication from the right people with the right authentic following, it helped drive that, and very selective Ibotta offers drove double-digit growth for us for 3 years in a row on the frozen business at Kellogg. So and I would say even now, like on the Walmart Connect side, it's one thing we're just starting to get into that space from a commercial perspective, and that's what we're really pushing, is the always on, not the big, huge like I love Kim Kardashian. It's definitely not true, but it's not like the Kim Kardashians of the world. It's like the people that you actually would resonate with day to day.
Sarah?
I think the influencers of the micro influencers do have a real feel sometimes, more so than, not more so, just in a different way, where you can really see people interacting with your brands. Like Harry and David is synonymous with Christmas, seeing all the Christmas presents with different traditions with the Royal Riviera pears and gift baskets sent every year to different, even corporate customers and such, is really helps tell your brand story. And with flowers, I think similarly, especially during, COVID, where people couldn't see their loved ones, we saw some really sentimental stories that, made us smile. Our hashtag is made me smile. So, but anyway, it really helps tell your story, and just how you leverage that in an authentic way too, and not over-capitalizing it, since it is such a saturated market now. So really being smart about that. So I think that's how we do it.
I think also it's not a singular thing. It's racking and stacking other support along with that. So, what are you doing for your top customer support? What are you doing from a national level? So that may drive, the awareness. But once you get to the store, or once you get to your product landing page, what else do you have to say? What are the solutions that you're providing to help mom, for example, pack a great lunch so she knows her kid's nutrition is covered for the day, and you know that lunch is not coming back, because that's the worst, right?
Great. Thanks, Ellie.
Yeah, I could just add to that too from a startup perspective. I think the micro influencer is super important. For us, what I was mentioning, really growing our customer review base. I think just using our customers as really the micro influencers has been really important. So taking some of the actual feedback, verbatim reviews, kind of highlighting those within our product tiles or imagery, and then just unpacking some things that people were saying really have helped influence our product development pipeline and packaging innovation and all sorts of things that, directly responds to the actual customers that we're seeing.
Thanks. And as we dig into influencers, video is becoming such a core component of creative and how you're leveraging it moving forward. What are your thoughts on the rise of video shopping? The see now, want now mentality, displayed by modern consumers, is really driving this live video shopping forward. Are you leveraging it? Are you leveraging Amazon Live? Whitney, can you talk a little bit about Walmart Live? And in general, how you're leveraging video to provide your consumers with more engagement and ultimately your brands and retailers with higher ROI.
And quick reminder before you answer, to keep your microphone.
Thank you.
So this is so lame, but I can't talk a lot about our video just because we've got some stuff in the works that's going to be launching soon. So, and I'll get, totally fired if I get up here and talk about it.
No worries. Thank you.
So, but I will say that we are, as you guys have probably seen or if you watched this space at all, you can't ignore it. And it's anyone who's not thinking about that and building that into their programming is going to be way far behind. So for us, it's all about finding the right partners and figuring out the kind of, not just from a brand perspective, like we're doing a lot of stuff, our category brand team is doing a ton with video right now. From a Walmart Connect perspective, when we think about creating opportunities for brands to do that through our channel and speak to our customers using our data, it's pretty powerful. So more to come.
Got it. Thanks. And in terms of partnerships, going to pick on you one more time. Sorry. Is there anything you can share with the audience about the partnership between Walmart and Paramount Plus?
Yeah, so that's super exciting. We were all super pumped that that went live this week. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing, like we committed to doing this. Like it's Walmart Plus is a huge priority for our company, for our customers, and we're in it to win it. So really excited about that partnership. I think when you look at just all of the member benefits, whether it's the gas discounts or in the store, the awesome shipping as it continues to evolve with music and streaming, this is just the beginning. So and we're seeing since we started Walmart Plus in September 2020, month over month growth. So this is, like I said, this is just the beginning. It's exciting to see.
Great. Thank you.
I think with live shopping, obviously, like QVC and the shopping networks have been doing it forever. Video is not new, but with the TikTok age and the 15-second short, what's going to grab customers, the form of video, it's just really important to think about what is connecting with the different customers, whether it's a 6-second spot or a 15-second spot or a 3-minute spot where you're really telling a story. So I think paying attention to those signals, and then just from an SEO perspective and a search perspective, closed captioning, making sure things are really searchable, since search engine bots can only see so much. So making sure you're closed captioned, seeing, I think it'll be interesting to see what the evolution is of search in video too. Obviously YouTube is the #2 search engine, and there's the part of the reason for closed captioning is that you can search through it that way. But it will be interesting to see what is available through TikTok search coming up.
Those are really good tips. Thank you.
I think to your point about the story, the content is important. So, from a yogurt standpoint, we want to be able to provide those solutions, shoppable solutions, ultimately, right? How do I provide you a short form video with a single click to add to cart to make all the to make what we just showed you in the video with adding all items to your basket and checking out through Walmart, for example. So I think also the amount of time and how shoppers and consumers engage with that content is going to be very different depending upon what you are selling, right? So you may spend a lot more time with a short form video about skincare, right, than you would on yogurt or flowers or whatever it might be.
Yeah, and just to ask you another question around that, being that you're in perishables, do you face any challenges with add to cart, or do you need to work with vendors that have OGP integrations? How do you do that from a perishable perspective?
So if you think back to the beginning of the pandemic, when a lot of us were staying up to find that coveted slot for grocery delivery, there wasn't a lot of space dedicated in the stores to begin with for refrigerated product. So that was a hurdle kind of right out the gate. And we've seen that problem kind of start to get solved because retailers are adding refrigerated units to their online grocery pickup areas or curbside areas. and the rise of insulated bags from retailers that do a door drop or a last mile delivery. Certainly there are challenges in a perishable and refrigerated space. That last mile delivery and with brown cow or cream top yogurt, if you turn it over, the cream top gets ruined, right? So how do you also maintain the integrity of the product when you're relying on a last mile delivery service to provide a product that's going to provide an optimal experience for the end user? So I think that some of those challenges, just having that dedicated space and just making sure that the product remains intact when it's delivered, were probably two of the biggest challenges over the past 2 years.
Great. Thanks, Allie. And Margaret, from your perspective, as you're looking to go DTC to retail, can you talk a little bit about how you're potentially leveraging video?
Yeah, so we were kind of old school with the video leverage. So when we first went to launch the brand, we definitely went to home shopping, so similar to what Sara just mentioned. But it was just a really great way to tell the brand story and get that 10 minutes of dedicated engagement time and get that trial for our brand and our product. So, and just sell a lot of units and get it into people's homes. So that was our first kind of foray into video, not live video. But I do think just, there's so much opportunity longer term as we look to grow and scale because, you want to be able to tell your story in those 3 to 6 seconds. And I think video is a great way to do that, in a quick way to get attention.
Thanks. And before I ask the final question of the panel today, and ask one random question just to bring us full circle to where we started this morning. Do you prefer golf or pickleball? I'm a golfer. I'm not good. I can't wait to play pickleball.
None of the above, honestly. I've played mini golf.
I pick or. I don't do either.
So apparently we're super lame because I'm an athlete, but I'm a basketball player, so I don't have the patience for golf.
Okay, so I did take up pickleball this summer, so I actually just started, and it's very fun, and everybody I know is totally addicted to it, so I would recommend trying it. And it's not hard because it's just like ping pong and tennis together.
Well, thanks, everybody. Earlier, Julie from Party City mentioned that, brand sits in the heart of your shoppers via experience. So as consumers expect better value alignment with brands and retailers, when should marketers start to lean into communities that are currently underrepresented?
Well, I think what's important for us with launching new products that are really safe for skin and safe for the planet, it's really accessibility. So making it at a really affordable price point, and making sure that the channels that we're selling in people can find and have it within a very quick time turnaround. So and I think really taking people on the journey of the story and explaining what's unique, what's different about the science, making sure in our case, as it's skincare, that it's good for all skin types, all ages. Every ingredient that we put into our products is allergen free, and it's rated 1 on the EWG scale, so people can we're very transparent about what we're using. So I think being able to tell those stories, that it's really good for all skin types, accessible price point, and just building that trust and transparency, that it's also good for children as well. So those are some steps in that direction.
I would say from an evolution over the past few years, if you went into a Walmart 5 years ago, you would never find Kerrygold butter, or there's something in there the other day I saw and I was like, oh my gosh, hell is frozen over that we have this in the store. There's so much more, so from a retailer perspective, it's all about bringing in assortment and bringing in the right products. And I think it's not only like looking at the communities we serve, but also it's amazing how many people can have just do a cold call or email into a buyer they find on LinkedIn, and they have the story and they have the passion. There's so many brands that get launched. It's crazy. Whereas 5 years ago, that wasn't even possible. But now, because of the rotation into like having the best assortment for our customers, it's really opened up the doors.
For us, I would say, we just bought a fish company called Vital Choice, which is all about organic type of seafood. I'd say with the, making sure that there is a lot of red tape around having sustainability and making sure that you are claiming all of the right things is super important. But, for us, I think just making sure that in some cases, for example, our pears and our peaches, it's the end of peach season. If you have not tried the Origold Northwest peaches, they're awesome, as well as the cherries that are now almost out of season. But anyway, we have tons of pear orchards and peach orchards right in Medford, Oregon, which is where Harry and David is based, as well as the Wolferman's bakery right on premise. So it's really awesome if you ever go there. They do tours. But it's just very cool to see where everything is actually made in the facilities, and being able to say this is locally grown in Medford, like a little insert comes in with your package so you can see the story behind it all. They used to use elephants back in the day to pick the pears. So anyway, cool stuff like that I think is really a fun way to tell your brand story too.
Thanks, Sara.
I feel like you sort of set me up with that organic preamble. I think it's important to walk the walk and talk the talk as an organic brand in particular. And the values that Stonyfield has upheld for close to 30 years, 40 years-ish. Yeah. I think is true not just on our packaging, but in what we tell the buyers when we meet the buyers and what we put out there to reach moms and dads when they're making their feeding choices for their families. And I think that, making those messages and making them relevant at different touch points across the journey is also pretty critical in maintaining authenticity. So you'll see that from us quite a bit in our brand marketing. And I think also representation as well, because I think there is perhaps a preconceived notion that inherently organic is more expensive, therefore it may not be for me if I'm trying to cut costs or cut corners, to stay within my budget. But, I think that in some cases, maybe you'll be surprised to find us in a Walmart store at an everyday low price. Or and tell the story and give the shopper the understanding and kind of the why behind the buy, right? Bring that story to life and provide a value and a reason for making that feeding choice.
Thanks, Allie.
Yeah, we have time for a couple quick questions. Yes.
Hi, Ari from Camp again. I'm really glad you just started to bring that up because I think throughout the entire day I had noticed primarily she, her pronouns being used in the conversation. There's a lot of people in CPG here, but I'm wondering if you feel that gender norms still have a valid reason to base your strategy against it. Like, do you feel that talking directly to the mom is a better strategy for your ROI, or are we really at a place where you can talk to mom and dad equally?
That's a very good question. I think you will see in some of our new spots coming out this fall, some of the representation that we're talking about. Families look different today than they have in the past. Feeding choices and grocery shopping, at least in the Dembishack house, primarily happen through me. And mom is still making majority of those choices. That's not to say that dad isn't adding to cart or picking up on the way home from work, right? So I think that it is definitely an area to explore and an area to consider as we're seeing kind of a evolution of what compromises an American family today.
I would say just for us, we did a enterprise-wide campaign for #NoLimitsOnLove, which, historically with Valentine's Day, the main demographic historically is male, and through Mother's Day, obviously, That does vary per gender, but making sure that you are being inclusive, I think, is incredibly important for us especially. And Google just announced, if you haven't seen it, they have a whole packet of inclusivity marketing now. It just came out with a new for developmentally disabled people yesterday. So I think just in general with your marketing, making sure that everything is compliant for different genders and then just beyond.
Thanks, Sarah.